I come from a small town, and the butchers, 3 of them, each butchered 1 animal a week. So the meat was distributed between 1,600 people, whoever could afford it. And since most people raise their own chickens, they have their own meat. So only when they need to make a stock or a soup or something, they would go and buy the beef and all that. So meat in general was sold to people that had means. Means means more money. We farmers, we went to buy the meat that was second grade, And so when I started cooking, and I went to my cooking school in Salso Maggiore, all of a sudden I'm learning this new world of cooking, which is the high-end stuff, right? I mean, entrecote, rack of lamb, steaks, and all of this thing. Whoa, I said, wow, this really, I never had that. So, maybe I'll go to my butcher and I'll buy a couple of entrecote and I'm gonna make them Mirabeau, with the anchovies and the capers and the olives, oh my, that's gotta be great, And so as soon as I could, after my first summer job, I had some money. I went to the butcher and I'm like, hi, and I'm Graciela's son, and I want to buy some strip loin, and I'm giving him all this terminology, entrecote, because I learned it in school. And so he says to me, we don't have any. So, but what do you mean you don't have any? Oh, no, this week I don't have any, they're all sold. Okay, what about next week? Oh no, I have to, if somebody cancels, then I can give it to you. It's not stuff for you, it's too expensive. How pretentious is that to tell me I can't afford it, right? And then that kind of burned me a little bit, right? So I was really unhappy about that. So I went to work. I went away, I went to work, and then I gathered the money, and I said, I went to the butcher, I said, look, I don't care about how long it takes, but I want entrecote, 4 of them. My brother, my mother, me, and my other brother. So I want 4 of them, and I want them, and that's all there is to it, I'm prepaying you for them. And he looked at me and he stood back. He said, who's this kid? He's a 15-year-old and he's standing up to, the ways of the world, But he stepped back and he laughed. Okay, so a week and a half later, 2 weeks later, we had the steaks. And they were delicious. It was the first time that in my family we had that kind of meat. We never had a tenderloin or an entrecote or a strip loin or anything like that ever before. It was always chuck and ribs and things that you boil for 14 hours in order to make them tender. That was the very first time I had strip loin.